There is a silent force that decides how you respond to your child. And most of the mothers don't even realize it's happening. It is not just stress or tiredness. Then what is it? It's something deeper, I'll tell you. You know, every mother wants to do her best, and all of us go through moments where we feel unheard, maybe unseen, or just feel like we are done. And if you have ever snapped at your child and wondered, where did that come from? You will know it very clearly by the end of this video. And if you are watching this, that means you are already someone who reflects. And people who reflect often transform. Hi, I'm Risha Sheikh, India's first early childhood bonding neurocoach. I empower working mothers to do connective parenting while thriving in their careers. Inside my Power Me Up program, I use something called the ego equivalence test. You might be thinking, Risha, what is this? It's a self awareness tool every working mother should experience at least once in their life. Today, I'll walk you through that. You will know what this test is and how ego actually shows up in your parenting, and also how you can gently bring the things back into the balance with just a few minutes of awareness every single day. Oh, and before we go deeper, I've created a free ego balance checklist for you. It's something you can use at any time, especially when you feel like your emotions are taking a front seat, right? So it's yours. Just stay with me till the end. Now, speaking about ego equivalence test, you see, when ego is not understood, it actually and slowly starts shaping how we react to the things. And the children are the people who always, children are that part of population who always gets impacted with this. Because I'll tell you the truth. How you behave when you're under pressure becomes their emotional blueprint, right? Which means they are going to use the same way how you're reacting when you're under the pressure. Let me explain ego equivalence test to you in a very simple way. This is a term I use in my coaching to help the mothers understand their emotional presence, right? Now it's a balance scale. See, imagine you have a sense of self worth and you are in the need to be in control. So, how will it be? So, that balance, right? So, you can assume it's something like that. Now, depending on what's happening in your day, your ego can fall into any of the three states. I'll explain what that is. One is overactive ego, second one is deflated ego, and third one is balanced ego. Now, you might be thinking, why, Risha? Why do we need to learn all these terms, right? But trust me on this, it's extremely crucial for you to understand these terms so that you can see where exactly you are standing, right? So the first one is overactive ego. Now, this is when you feel the constant need to be right, to fix, to prove. You always feel like you wanted to prove in front of other people. You may notice yourself sometimes raising your voice, interrupting your child, or feeling you feel personally attacked by the tantrum your child is showing, right? And this usually comes from a place of unmet needs, or maybe some of the old patterns that you already have. Now, that's what we call as overactive ego. Now, the second one is deflated ego. This is exactly the opposite, which means you kind of you withdraw yourself. You always second guess. What you do, you give in, not from peace, but from the guilt or the fatigue. Have you ever noticed whenever you feel like you're done with a certain behavior of your child, you say like this, okay, now what do you want? You don't want this? Okay. You want this? Okay, fine. So you feel like fine for everything. Why? Not because your heart feels like saying that. It is actually because you're done with it, just to avoid the conflict. Your voice feels small, even though your love is big. Now, the third one, what I call as balanced ego, I would say this is the best option that you can have. This is actually the sweet spot. You still have the boundaries, but you also hold a space. It's kind of a neutral feeling that you have. You respond to your child with intention, not impulsively. You know your child's behavior isn't always about you. So, what you do, you guide instead of controlling him or her. Let me give you a simple image when it comes to three kinds of ego. Imagine a volume knob on a speaker. When it's too loud, right? You can't bear it. The message gets distorted. And when it's too low, again nobody hears it. But when it's just right, it feels good and the connection happens. Ego works the same way. It's not about removing it, it's just about tuning it to the right frequency. Now, take a moment. I'll ask you three questions, okay? You just need to think about the answers. Number one, did I need to prove I was right today? Think about it. The second one, did I feel small or guilty when I couldn't manage it all? And the third question, did I pause and breathe before reacting to my child? As you hear these questions, you might begin to notice where your patterns usually land. And just that awareness, my friend, can already begin the shift. Now imagine this. This evening, maybe your child do something wrong, maybe spills water or breaks something by mistake. Again, and instead of reacting, you take a breath and respond calmly. Feels light, right? That version of you, that version which we said, she already exists. You just haven't practiced meeting her often enough. Now that you have seen where you might stand with ego, whether it felt a little overactive or deflated or just on the edge, it's normal. Okay? You still have the option to work on it and make you feel better. So you might be thinking, what do I do next? Right? Let me share two powerful tools that I use with my mothers inside the Power Me Up program. And honestly, I use these myself as a mother on a day to day basis. These aren't big, nor they are complicated steps. They are small, tiny practices, but when done consistently, they create big shifts in how you feel and how your child feels when he or she is around you. Now, the first tool, I call it micro awareness ritual. Simply, it is pause, name, and breathe. We all have these moments. I'll explain it to you, okay? Your child is yelling, or he did something which you didn't expect. You're trying to finish your work, and your body tenses up. In that moment, your ego wants to take over, to shout, to control, or to just give up. Here's what you can do instead. First, pause. Just give yourself a small pause. Just 1 second of space before you react. And the second thing, internally name what you're feeling, which means what is that you're feeling? Is it frustration? Is it guilt? Tiredness? Just by naming it, help your brain to process that emotion instead of letting it hijack you. And the third one, breathe. Try to breathe with me. Take one slow, deep breath before you speak or react. This ritual actually takes less than 10 seconds. But it literally helps you to respond wisely, not just emotionally. And it's not about becoming emotionless as well. It's about becoming emotionally wise. I call it like that. It's about staying grounded even when the things around you are not happening the way you want it to be. And the second tool that I use, the language replace technique. Now you might be thinking, what language should I replace? Right? See, words are powerful. And sometimes it's not what you say again, it's how you say it. That defines your relationship with your child. Most of us don't even realize that we use the trigger words like, for example, you never listen. Why are you always like this? Don't you get it? These are the words we might have heard growing up, and they come out of us just like that when we are maybe tired or frustrated. Now let's do the replace method over here. Instead of maybe telling like you never listen, you can speak. Can we pause for a second? Or another example, instead of telling your child why you are always like this beta, you can try say, Mama is not feeling great. Can we take a break? Now do you see the shift? These words carry less judgment and more connection. This is what I call the language replace method. It's a small shift in the language, but it helps you move from the conflict part to the connection part. That's what I personally use with my daughter, and trust me, it doesn't just calm the moment, it builds the trust over time. Because when you change the words now, you change the way your child feels. In order to help you with this, I've created the ego balance checklist that I've already told you. You can take a printout and stick it somewhere so that you can access it anytime. And the mothers in the Power Me Up program, they are telling me that they're getting better results when they use it before the bed. And I also personally use it at that time because it gives you the time to reflect on yourself before you go to bed, right? So it's like an emotional mirror that you can have before you go to bed every day so that you look better the next day. And it'll just take 2 minutes, okay? Yes. And if you're someone who's ready to go deeper, not just manage your emotions, but actually rewire your patterns, then Power Me Up is where we start. It's a powerful space for a handful of working moms. You can either keep running your days on survival mode or you can choose to thrive. Either way, something's going to change. Why not choose the change that actually heals you from within? You might already be thinking of that one moment today where ego slipped in quietly. Let that moment be your sign. Comment below. Tell me one realization you had from this video and grab your checklist. It's free, but the changes leads to that's the real value. So, till we meet in another video, signing off and take care.